Right now this morning, new price cap ahead. Why Minnesota residents may soon be seeing lower prices on insulin in the state, and how much will it now cost? Losing sponsors. First, why one woman is warning that new DEI policies may impact more people outside of major organizations.
Plus, we're back on the wild side today, holding on to temperatures in the 40s and the 50s, possibly. How about some light snow, mostly up to the north? We'll talk about that in just a moment.
This is News 8 Now, this morning.
Good morning. I'm Allison Ferget in for Alexandra.
And I'm Mark Jarrett.
Well, it's Tuesday, January 28th, and I am loving these temperatures. We are seeing 50s ahead in January. That feels crazy to say, but I'm welcoming it with open arms, Art. I cannot wait for this.
It's going to be short-lived, though, unfortunately. Why? Because it's going to be followed with a little bit of snow in the forecast as well. Hey, we go into it as we finish out today, as I mentioned before, milder conditions, breezy, winds possibly up to about, say, near 40 miles per hour, similar to what we picked up yesterday. Then we get into the rest of the day. We'll see snow possibly moving into the forecast. A lot of that's going to come in the early morning hours. In fact, we'll see by sunrise possibly. But the thing is, it's all the way up north of I-94. In fact, we'll see maybe Eau Claire picking up a 20% chance in the forecast. But that, you're going to see it right there, kind of moving in, a little increasing in strength there a little bit. They're probably going to get maybe an inch or less, possibly by Rhinelander and other locations there as well. Ladysmith, in between that as well, they have about a 20% chance getting into clouds increasing briefly. Then we'll get back to partly cloudy skies to finish out your afternoon. How about this, though, Eau Claire? Well, 14 degrees. That's what it feels like on your skin up there. We'll also look for La Crosse holding on to 15 degrees. That's what it feels like on your skin there. But the thing is, though, it's 23 degrees right now in La Crosse, and Eau Claire is 25 degrees. We're looking at other locations. Everybody else mixed in the 20s with the exception of Sparta, one of our cooler spots there. The winds will continue coming out of the west-northwest, and eventually, I should say, out of the southwest. Then they turn west-northwest later on, and they break down and calm down. But the winds will carry over right through the afternoon as well. And then by the evening commute, they begin to fade. I'll have more about this coming up for you in just a moment.
All right, thank you, Art. There are more executive actions this morning to kick off President Donald Trump's second week in office. The new directives are aimed at federal aid and the U.S. military. CBS News' Jared Hill has more from New York.
New this morning, a freeze on nearly all federal financial assistance just hours away. Sources tell CBS News an internal memo from the White House calls for a pause on grants and loans reviewed to ensure they align with Trump administration priorities. The Senate's top Democrat, Chuck Schumer, wrote it's jeopardizing billions upon billions of community grants and financial support that help millions of people across the country. Monday, President Donald Trump signed a slew of executive orders focused on the military, reinstating with back pay thousands of service members discharged for refusing the COVID-19 vaccine, directing the Pentagon to determine a policy for transgender troops within the month. In the meantime, reinstating a ban he first ordered in 2017 and banning race and sex-based preferences. Trump speaking at a House GOP retreat at his resort in South Florida.
We will stop our service members from being indoctrinated with radical left ideology.
Another order calls for the creation of a U.S. Iron Dome, similar to Israel's missile defense system.
Two sources familiar with the matter tell CBS News that around a dozen Justice Department employees who worked on special counsel Jack Smith's investigations and cases against President Trump have been fired. House Republicans are challenging sanctuary jurisdictions. Those are places where local authorities don't go after people whose only crime is coming to the U.S. illegally. The House Oversight and Government Reform Committee says it's investigating such places. Its chair says they're hindering efforts to remove dangerous criminals. Advocates argue otherwise law-abiding undocumented immigrants should be allowed to stay, but the border czar disagrees. An end to federal DEI programs were among the first sweeping changes coming with President Trump's first days in office. That includes Minneapolis-based Target, and many businesses followed suit, ending initiatives focused on diversity, equity, and inclusion. Frankie McLister sat down with one Minnesotan who says the decision affects her greatly.
I guarantee you there's some black business owners waking up this morning like me who have a dilemma. They have a decision to make.
That decision is whether to work with those companies eliminating DEI efforts. Shaletta Brundage hosts a podcast geared towards the Black community. She says Target's DEI sponsorship was a big part of launching her business, but Brundage says she's no longer supporting the company after it scaled back its DEI programs.
It is inconvenient, but so was the Montgomery bus boycott.
Here, the stores, the belonging to the Bullseye program, helped Black entrepreneurs develop and test products. And that program was developed right here at the HQ following George Floyd's killing.
Brundage says there's no mistaking the help the initiative provided to her and many other Black entrepreneurs.
I was able to take that money and hire 2 employees. I was able to upgrade my equipment. I was able to get more contractors. And now, was it all the rules? Was it intentional? Did they mean it? Did they ever really care about us?
The company says they were going to end this initiative anyway and posting to their website that they're stopping all external diversity-focused surveys and evolving their, quote, supplier diversity team to, quote, supplier engagement to better reflect their inclusive global procurement process. Walmart, Amazon, McDonald's, and Meta are also ending DEI-focused programs. But the move has her wondering about what this means for the future.
I should not have to be fighting the fight that my great-grandmother fought. We should be further along, right? And it seems like they're not just rolling back DEI, they're rolling back progress.
The man accused of setting fire to the shooter's Showgirls building earlier this month is expected to appear in court today. 25-year-old Colton Jansen is charged with arson of a building and burglary of a building, among other charges. That's after police say surveillance video of Jansen breaking a window to enter the building before later allegedly throwing in a Kleenex box that was on fire. Jansen is on a $25,000 bond and is expected to appear in court just before noon today. One of the 2 men accused of a Toma stabbing is also expected to appear in court today. 18-year-old Leo Pugrum is charged with first-degree intentional homicide and first-degree recklessly endangering safety after he was allegedly identified to have taken part in a fight in a Toma Health parking lot last month. His appearance is set to begin at 10 this morning. Authorities have identified those involved in a fatal shooting in Eau Claire Saturday. The victim is 21-year-old Andre Simmons Jr. of Chippewa Falls. Responders found him with multiple gunshot wounds just after 2 a.m. Saturday. 18-year-old Demarion Stogner of Eau Claire is in custody for the shooting. His charges include first-degree intentional homicide. It remains under investigation. A man is in custody following a fire in Spring Grove. The fire broke out last week at the 31-unit Spring Grove Manor complex. 28 people made it out safely, but were left without a home. Police quickly arrested 36-year-old Andrew Forrester, a resident of the building. He's now facing arson charges. The fire is still being investigated. Joe Gao is filing a federal lawsuit to be reinstated as a professor at UWL. In 2023, the university discovered he and his wife, Carmen Wilson, appeared in online pornographic videos. UWL removed him as chancellor in December 2023. After a months-long battle, the UW Board of Regents removed his tenure and fired him as a professor. Gao says his firing violated his free speech rights and that the videos he created were not obscene or illegal.
Everybody knows that I was fired from my faculty position because the regents and other administrators didn't like the books and videos that my wife and I had posted on the internet. And, we have a First Amendment right to do that. So they can't fire me based on something that is free speech.
So far, there has been no response from UWL or the Universities of Wisconsin board. Wisconsin Republicans are taking aim at the governor's partial veto power. Lawmakers are calling for a constitutional amendment to only allow governors to veto entire sections of a spending bill. Since 1930, a Wisconsin governor can strike certain words and phrases as long as it doesn't create new words. Last year, Republicans drafted a public education spending increase to last 2 years. Evers crossed out a 20 and a dash to have the increased funding for the next 400 years. The state Supreme Court is considering a lawsuit over that action. Republicans need to approve this amendment in 2 consecutive legislative sessions before it can appear on a state ballot. Senator Tammy Baldwin discussed multiple key issues during a virtual town hall. During yesterday's meeting, she addressed concerns over the cost of living in western Wisconsin. Baldwin says she wants to implement a tax break for first-time home buyers to combat the rising prices of housing in the state. She also says she plans to continue to advocate for lower drug prices, including capping the cost of inhalers at $35 per month.
Asthma inhalers in the U.S. was sometimes 10, 15, 20 times more than we saw the costs being in other countries.
Baldwin also highlighted her effort to help secure a $1 million grant at Hillview Community Services Center for unhoused children in La Crosse. Monroe County board members and state legislators met in Sparta yesterday for the first legislative exchange of the year. The board and lawmakers meet quarterly to exchange priorities on budgetary and legislative items. One of the big topics discussed yesterday was having more mental health resources.
We've kicked the can down the road and not dealing with our mental health, and it's all coming to the head. Whatever that diagnosis is, it's just developed, and with the opioid epidemic and different things, mental health has come to the forefront.
The next Monroe County Legislative Exchange will be on April 21st at the Monroe County Courthouse. Still ahead on your morning news, a record number of Americans are projected to go on cruises this year. In Borough, politicians have approved an overnight tourist tax, and Wendy's is working with Girl Scouts for a new Frosty.
A recent study shows travel may slow the aging process. I'm Wendy Gillette in Barbados with the findings.
For now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. Bangkok's famous Backpacker Street was full of the sounds of firecrackers, drums, and cymbals as a troupe of Thai dragon dancers energetically announced the approach of the Lunar New Year. The colorful crew drew out a large crowd of mainly foreign onlookers. Many Thais have Chinese ancestry, so the Lunar New Year is embraced with enthusiasm throughout the country. Tomorrow is the Lunar New Year, where it will then become the Year of the Snake. And as you begin to wake up this morning, we leave you with a quick wake-up call with the city that invented tomato juice and sliced bacon, Indianapolis, Indiana. Stay with us. Your morning consumer news is after the break.
For the professional, it's not enough to possess knowledge. We seek to refine it, to wield its power, to redefine its boundaries. Knowledge is put to the test in every GMC Sierra. Get 0% APR on 2024 Sierra 1500 models. That's over $5,600 in average finance savings.
Visit your best choice GMC dealer today.
Brad Schimmel, prosecutor, attorney general, rule of law judge. Schimmel put pedophiles behind bars, took on criminal illegals and cartels, protected kids and seniors from abuse.
Law school taught me the rights of the accused, but justice for the abused is denied all too often. I'm Brad Schimmel. On the state Supreme Court, I'll apply the law equally, because everyone has the right to feel safe.
Schimmel, for justice.
To everyone who's hungry for something special,
Culver's is the place for us. Hi, what can I make fresh for you today? It's nice being greeted by people who are glad to see you. And I appreciate that they use real ingredients, like fresh beef and Wisconsin cheese. The frozen custard is so fresh and creamy, it tastes like it was made just for us. It's our pleasure. Just spending time with family, that's what mealtime at Culver's is all about.
From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious!
At US Cellular, you don't have to choose between a great deal on the phone you want and the phone plan that's right for you.
You can get both. 4 free phones of your choice and 4 lines for just $90.
Wow, kids, that's like us not having to choose between tickets to wrestling or that puppet musical.
We want a great phone and a great plan too, don't we, little guy?
Get both. 4 free phones of your choice plus 4 lines for $90. No trade-in needed. US Cellular, built for us.
I didn't know it, but my back pain was coming from my feet. My personalized arch support system from the Good Feet store got me back in the picture.
Clinically proven to provide significant pain relief in only 4 weeks. Book your free fitting at goodfeet.com.
This adorable shelter pet wants to meet you and your family today. The News 8 Now Pet of the Week is brought to you by Wisconsin Veterinary Orthopedics.
Well, good morning to you. Today we are looking at widespread 40s, mixing in some 50s and maybe some 30s in there too. Widespread local temperatures with breezy and gusty winds. A little bit of snow well north of I-94. In fact, they'll get at least maybe an inch out of that, possibly over the next day or so. Then we get into record high temperatures for Thursday, and that's for La Crosse, maybe even Rochester. Then once we get into the weekend, we have the chance of a mix of rain and snow into the forecast, which is a 20% chance carrying over to a 30% chance going into Sunday. All right, so take a look. We've got the snow kind of moving through the area here. That's for today, getting into tomorrow as well. And with that, I'll run it again so you can see it here as we finish out going into the evening. There it goes, mostly well to the north, and it's up and out of the area. That being said, let's take a gander at what's happening with our local forecast as we go into today. It feels like it's still about 14 degrees out there on your skin for La Crosse, or Eau Claire, excuse me, about 15 for La Crosse. Other locations between at least 13 to about 23 degrees out there. And in fact, we'll see current temperatures for the currents right now holding on to 23 in La Crosse, 25 in Eau Claire. So the temperature and how it feels on your skin is a little bit on the different side or scale. We're holding on to the wind gusts as we tick up to about 7 o'clock all the way into the late morning hours. We're going to holding on to these winds getting up to near 40 miles per hour in some cases. But then once we get into the afternoon, they begin to weaken going into the 5 o'clock hour, breaking down as we finish out your evening commute going into how this all plays out. You can see these winds are going to be, they still keep going as we go into Wednesday. Those winds will be breezy and then really begin to taper down as we finish out the day. Take a look what I've got going on for you. La Crosse, you've got sunshine, and then you've got some partly to mostly cloudy skies, more sunshine and breezy winds to follow. By 3 o'clock, you're at 46 degrees. Eau Claire will do the same as well, holding on to sunshine to getting into at least some cloudy skies to mostly cloudy skies, and then sunshine to finish out your day at 42 degrees. Be safe out there and have a wonderful day.
According to AAA, a record number of Americans are projected to go on ocean cruises this year. That would be 19 million in total. It makes 2025 the third year in a row of record cruise passenger volume. Right now, the most popular destination for Americans is the Caribbean. That's where nearly 75% of U.S. cruise passengers are going this year. People who visit the capital of Scotland will need to have a few extra pounds on hand. Edinburgh politicians have approved a tourist tax for those who spend the night. This is the first charge of this type in the United Kingdom. Officials say a 5% fee will be added to certain kinds of accommodations, like guest houses, hostels, and hotels starting in mid-2026. Edinburgh had close to 5 million tourists in 2023. It's Girl Scout season, and Wendy's is paying tribute to one of the Girl Scouts' most popular cookie flavors, Thin Mints. For a limited time only, Thin Mints Frosties will be on the menu. Wendy's says its newest Frosty flavor will debut at restaurants nationwide next month. Customers can get the Thin Mints inspired swirl in either a vanilla or chocolate Frosty. That sounds absolutely delicious. I will have to get one. While a recent study shows travel isn't just for fun, it could be a defense against aging. Wendy Gillette has today's Travel Tuesday from Barbados.
From Mexico to Spain, Australia to Belize, and just about everywhere in between, Christina Golick has adventures.
I have learned so much that the world is so much bigger than what I thought it was.
Golick has visited more than 40 countries, and now the former Phoenix resident lives on the road full-time.
I'm really interested in learning about what it's like to live in different parts of the world and different sizes of communities too.
And that may be keeping her feeling young, according to a recent study published in the Journal of Travel Research. Researchers from Edith Cowan University near Perth, Australia, found travel can bring more positive emotions and improve physical and mental wellness.
Positive tourism experiments, they may have the potential to slow the biological aging process.
Those positive travel experiences also include visiting therapeutic environments like the sea and engaging in more physical activities and social interactions.
The study says negative travel experiences can have the opposite effect. Golick sees the health benefits from her travel.
I haven't driven in 5 years. It's great. It's fantastic. You walk multiple miles a day just for everyday errands.
The researchers say more studies are needed to determine which types of trips are the most beneficial for travelers.
The researchers say travel can stimulate stress responses and elevate metabolic rates, possibly improving the body's self-defense systems. Well, that's a look at your consumer news. Let's send it over to Art for our forecast. And it looks like we're going to have some decent weather in the next couple days.
Yeah, possibly as we go right into the next few days. Yeah, more sunshine on the way as well. How about this, though? We get into milder conditions to finish out your day today, holding on to breezy and gusty winds. That'll carry over tomorrow as well. They'll subside as we go into the evening hours, pick up as we go overnight going into tomorrow as well. Better chance of snow landing north of I-94 today and tomorrow. They could get up to maybe 1/10 of an inch, maybe to an inch, possibly. Is January the coldest month of the year anymore? I mean, right now, we're looking at temperatures in the 20s currently. Right now, those are the lows, which we would normally be having. 24 to 28 degrees. Well, our high today, yeah, you can see it right here, getting into at least 38 to about 50 degrees. Yeah, the weather's kind of changing on us a little bit, but breezy and gusty winds will carry over. We start out cloudy, getting into at least some sunnier skies today to partly cloudy skies. Most of the snow is well up to the north. Then it kind of crosses Ladysmith and gets toward Wausau, and that continues throughout the day. Let's get into the late morning hours where you're seeing cloudier skies to mostly cloudy skies, ending out to partly cloudy to finish out the day, and more sunshine well up to the north. We get into 1 o'clock, you'll see that, but we're also looking at 3 o'clock where highs pop into the picture. Unfortunately, though, I shouldn't say unfortunately, about 42 degrees possible for Eau Claire today. They'll get it at the 2 o'clock hour, not the 3 o'clock hour, but everybody else is looking at 40s widespread here, getting into 50s possibly down to the south. Okay, so we get into the evening, another round of that snow, a little flurry or two working towards Ladysmith, possibly getting towards Eau Claire as well for a little bit getting on the ground to at least a dusting for them. We'll also see that go back to Wausau again and finish out as we finish out into the 11 o'clock hour, getting into the midnight hour for tomorrow. That being said, not much, as I mentioned before, just a little bit of snow landing on the ground. You can see some of that tries to get as a dusting for Ladysmith and areas by Marshfield as well, getting into Wausau, maybe even Eau Claire. We'll finish out possibly with an inch well up to the north. Now we get into how this all plays out for the highs today. You notice there are some areas that are going to be breezy, some areas that are not. We've got sunnier skies today. You'll see most of the breezier conditions from the south zone going back up to the central zone as well, where the breezy conditions ensue. Up to the north, though, here's the thing. You're only going to be seeing around Eau Claire, getting up to Chippewa Falls there, and then areas right by, is it Bloomer there? You're also going to be seeing Cornell possibly, and maybe not so much in the breeze as well as Ladysmith. They're not in the breeze today. Carry over to what we've got going on for you today as we finish out going for Tuesday. You're looking at 20s, 30s, and some 40s in the forecast. 20s, 30s, and 40s for Eau Claire as well, getting into more sunshine today. Highs for Wednesday, you're looking at least maybe 33 to about 43 degrees out there. There's a look at that high temperature, as I told you, for La Crosse. 48 degrees, picking up 51 for our forecast. Not so much for Eau Claire, though, but we'll get into the forecast I mentioned. There's that snow coming back for the weekend. Just want to show you that real quick. You can see that carrying over for Saturday, going into Sunday as well, and then finishing out on Monday. Let's take a look at what I've got going on for you for the next 8 days, and away we go. We see a mini roller coaster taking us to the 40s, the 50s, the 30s, and the 20s through your forecast. Get out and enjoy it. Groundhog Day on Sunday. Be safe.
Thank you, Art. And new out-of-this-world research is trying to help develop a way to repair damaged hearts in the future. Ahead, we'll look at why NASA astronauts are taking heart cells to space and how it could one day help patients back here on the blue marble.
Coming up in the Blitz, highlights from a slate of good non-conference matchups on a Monday night. Those coming your way after the break.
Chart your career with a fabricator position at Chart Industries. Starting wage up to $30 per hour with no experience necessary. Excellent pay and awesome benefits. Apply now at jobs.chartindustries.com. Join News 8 Now for the 102nd Annual Westby Ski Jump, January 31st and February 1st. Athletes from all over the world compete at speeds exceeding 50 miles per hour on the Olympic-sized ski hill. Visit snowflakeskiClub.com to buy a button today.
Susan Crawford. She's the prosecutor who locked up violent criminals, the judge who's kept them off the street, and the leader who fought for abortion rights. On the Supreme Court, she'll look at the facts and uphold the law. Fair, impartial, common sense. That's Judge Susan Crawford.
For me, being a judge is really pretty simple. There's right and there's wrong, and I'll always do the right thing for Wisconsin.
Jason's been with us long enough now to see changes in Michael's abilities. He can
analyze them and tailor his recommendations because he has almost as much knowledge of Michael's health as Michael's doctors do. I think that's huge. That is the single biggest factor for me. And that kind of client relationship is invaluable, especially when you're facing the challenges that we are.
Hi, I'm Jason with Access Elevators. Stop in and see us today.
Craving authentic Mexican flavors? Look no further than Señor Villa. At Señor Villa, we bring the taste of Mexico to your table every day. Join us for our unbeatable $5 lunch specials packed with flavor and value. And don't miss our nightly specials where the fiesta never ends. Señor Villa, where great food meets great value. Visit us today. Señor Villa, the taste of Mexico you've been craving.
Chart your career with a fabricator position at Chart Industries. Starting wage up to $30 per hour with no experience necessary. Excellent pay and awesome benefits. Apply now at jobs.chartindustries.com.
The Blitz, well, the Caledonia boys crossed the Mississippi for a game for the 4th time this season, looking to bolster an already impressive resume. Meanwhile, Central hadn't played 11 days entering the game last night, but they were riding a 4-game win streak. And this was a fun one. Close first half. Ball swung over here to Will Schilling. The sophomore lets it fly, knocking down the triple. Riverhawks go up 3. Then it's Schilling with a little nifty euro in the lane. He finished with a team-high 12 points. The size of the Warriors giving Central fits at times in this one. Off the miss, it's Reed Klug with the putback plus the foul. And Klug was getting buckets in a variety of ways. From the corner, it's the big man showing off the shooting stroke. Caledonia retakes the lead. Then time winding down in the half, Gabe Service kicks it out to Jalen Calvert, and he buries it. Central had the lead at half, but the number 3 team in Class 2A in Minnesota turns it up a notch, and they would get the win. Arcadia ladies hosting CFC last night in a good non-conference matchup. Right out of the gates, it's the Pirates' Aubrey Smith going up with the right hand off the glass and gets the friendly roll to get the scoring started. Raiders finding ways to generate offense. Caitlin Bremer gets the rebound, then shoots it back out to Jocelyn Draskowski for the mid-range bucket. Then check out the hustle by CFC's Mackenzie Wenger, who saves it, throws it back to Kaylin Camaro, giving it up to Anna Connect for the deuce right there. Good hustle. But it would be the Raiders who would defend their home court, winning this one 55-50. A great matchup in Minnesota. Rushford Peterson hosting Lewiston Altura. Cardinals with the hot hand early. Zane Nelson in the paint puts up the jumper and knocks it down. Later, the big man showing off the range, gets the 3 ball to fall, and with that, he would surpass the 1,000 career point mark. However, the Trojans would catch fire themselves. William LaFleur gets the open look. That's cash. Then on the fast break, it's Jackson Meldhall threading the needle, and LaFleur is there for the easy bucket. And in transition again, Meldhall through contact, bucket plus the foul. Rush Pete takes the lead, but this Lewiston Altura squad would not back down. They find Peyton Botar open in the corner. Money. Trojans make a late run, but it's the Cardinals who hold on for the 66-63 win. A couple important hoops matchups tonight as well, plus some hockey. Hope to see you later for it.
This President's Day, feel the freedom to style your space with modular sectionals starting at $699.98 now at Ashley. Plus, pay over time with 0% interest for 60 months. Shop in-store or online. Only at Ashley.
It's that time of year. The chill is in the air. Are your floors freezing? Warm up your home with carpet from Sealands Carpetland in Coon Valley. We've got the coziest, most durable carpet for your home. Come in and check out our color options, styles, and patterns. We're happy to help you find just what you need to make your home warm and cozy. Sealands Carpetland in Coon Valley. Our #1 priority is you. Stop in today.
At Union State Bank, we believe in empowering our young savers to dream big and achieve more. While the most important part of being a kid is being a kid, we encourage their parents to set them on a journey of financial success. The Junior Savings Account from Union State Bank is designed especially for kids up to age 18. A savings account for your kids is a crucial step in shaping their future and instilling valuable life skills. Take the next step and set your kids on the path towards a brighter and more secure financial future. Union State Bank, where customers and community come first. Member FDIC.
There's obviously a lot of different health issues related to untreated hearing loss. Hearing loss can affect tinnitus, depression, isolation, heart health, cognitive decline, hypertension, diabetes, osteoporosis, safety and balance. The point is, you're never too old to do something.
Better Hearing Center, 11th and Main, Onalaska, next to St. Pat's Church.
Let River City Grill be your new lunch destination. Whether it's corporate lunches, parties, or events, we have the space and food for all of your gathering needs, big or small. We offer an all-you-can-eat lunch buffet from 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. with unlimited soup, salad, pizza, wings, and so much more. There's something for everybody. Stop by the bar and pair your delicious lunch with one of our many beers available on draft. River City Grill, Winona, Minnesota.
To everyone who's hungry for something special,
Culver's is the place for us. Hi, what can I make fresh for you today? It's nice being greeted by people who are glad to see you. And I appreciate that they use real ingredients, like fresh beef and Wisconsin cheese. The frozen custard is so fresh and creamy, it tastes like it was made just for us. It's our pleasure. Just spending time with family, that's what mealtime at Culver's is all about.
from Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious!
It's the Ashley President's Day sale going on now. Feel the freedom to get your best rest ever with up to $200 off adjustable bases. Plus, you can snooze now, pay later with 0% interest for 60 months. Shop more deals in-store and online, only at Ashley.
You expect more, so thank you for watching News 8 Now.
In your morning medical news, it's the #1 killer of Americans. One person dies every 33 seconds from cardiovascular disease. But new research performed in space is aimed at repairing damaged hearts in the future. Mandy Gaither talks to the lead researcher about how the International Space Station was used to gain knowledge that one day may help patients here on Earth.
What do heart muscle cells, NASA's SpaceX Crew 8 mission, and the International Space Station have in common? They're all part of the new out-of-this-world research that launched in March. Like, literally.
The astronauts were amazing. They conducted many experiments, procedures on the ISS.
Chun-Wei Shi and her team at Emory University School of Medicine sent these heart muscle cells to space to see if microgravity would help them better survive. Right now, she says a damaged heart muscle can't regrow itself, but there's hope that transplanting new cells can one day help repair that damage. However, many new cells die after being transplanted into a patient.
So if you can find ways to improve cell survival, then those methods will be helpful for the cell transplantation applications.
After about a week in space, she got the cells back and says the ones that survived went through molecular changes which allowed them to live. She says those changes were likely due to the stress of space travel, and if that could be replicated, it could help future cells withstand heart repairs.
If we can turn off those molecules on Earth, we might be able to help the cells survive and overcome other stressful situations.
Before sending the heart muscle cells to space, Emory University says the researchers first tried to replicate microgravity on Earth by using machines which constantly moved the cells around. Based on those results, they wondered if the space environment would allow the cells to live longer. Minnesotans who depend on insulin can now buy the medication for $35 a month. The move comes after a final settlement with Novo Nordisk. Under the settlement, Minnesota residents can buy insulin products from Novo Nordisk with a price capped at $35 per month. It's a price point that would hold for the next 5 years and goes for people both with or without insurance.
Because of this lawsuit, that person would not be turned away. Instead of saying you owe us $2,600, pay up, or you got to go home and ration, now they can say, we just need $35. And so that is saving lives.
Last year, Ellison struck a similar settlement with Eli Lilly. The company was another defendant in that lawsuit. A new study suggests forming healthy new habits may take a lot longer than you may think. According to research from the University of South Australia, new habits typically take around 2 months to ingrain and can take as long as a year to stick. To reach this conclusion, researchers analyzed data from 20 earlier studies measuring habitual behavior. However, more research is needed to find out how successful people were in sustaining new habits. Well, winter is the perfect time of year to cozy up and read a good book. La Crosse County Libraries are hosting their annual reading program for adults until March 1st. To participate in the program, pick up a reading record from any of their locations, then read or listen to 3 books to win a prize from their gift basket.
This program can bring the entire community together in a way where everyone is participating in the same activity at the same time. Reading is such an important part of our lives.
After reading 3 books, you also get entered into a drawing for a $50 Barnes & Noble gift card and their Snow Place Like Home mug. Dr. Todd Marr of Gunderson Health has played a vital role in the growth and well-being of the La Crosse community for over 35 years. News 8 Now's Emily Brown has our January Hometown Hero.
Dr. Marr knows La Crosse all too well.
I'm from La Crosse, grew up getting health care here at Gunderson Clinic. It's a great place to raise a family. It's a wonderful place to actually practice. And it is growing.
Dr. Marr has played an integral role in its growth, practicing as a pediatric allergist at Gunderson for 35 years and serving as medical director of philanthropy at the Gunderson Medical Foundation, raising money for programs like the Children's Miracle Network.
We support families. We provide meal vouchers for people when they're at the hospital, baby warmers and neonatal ICU stuff.
And Steppin' Out in Pink, an effort that raises money for breast cancer research.
It makes me feel good to be part of an organization like Gunderson, which has allowed me to do a lot of this stuff.
A lot of stuff is an understatement. Dr. Marr pioneered many organizations that are still valued by the La Crosse community today.
We do a lot with raising money here locally for behavioral health. We started Caitlin's Table here at the foundation, and we reinvigorated the Y Teen Center.
Marr also helped jumpstart the new inpatient behavioral health building at Gunderson, and as someone who suffers from allergies, took action towards a smoke-free Wisconsin.
You're in the first city that had smoke-free restaurants in Wisconsin. Now look at where we are. It's abnormal to smoke somewhere in public.
Colleagues of Dr. Marr say it's also abnormal to see him sit back and let someone else do the job.
He's taught me that being the first to step up, to say yes to something or to jump in is a really important part when it comes to asking and inviting other people to be part of what we're doing.
Somebody's got to do it. And I've been of the mindset that you either do it yourself or rely on someone else to get it done.
Soon, Dr. Marr will be hanging up his coat as he's set to retire in January of 2026. Dr. Knox will be taking his place and feels the significance of the shoes she's about to fill.
He has created such a legacy. I just hope that I can keep that going.
But this isn't the ending of his vocation. He still plans on working with the organizations that are near and dear to him and giving back to the community that has supported him after all these years.
And that means a lot. And so giving that back and paying it forward is still what I do. I think it's always best to pay it back. Yeah. Got to pay it forward.
For News 8 Now This Morning, I'm Emily Brown.
If you'd like to nominate someone who is doing good works in your community for our next Hometown Hero, just go to news8000.com and click on the Features tab. Well, let's send it over to Art for a look at our morning travel conditions. Hopefully not too bad out there right now.
No, it looks pretty good actually out there, Allison. As we take a look here, snow is working into the area well to our north right now, kind of brushing the northern portions of Wisconsin. Eventually, that's going to push a little bit closer down to areas by Rhinelander and, of course, maybe a dusting for Ladysmith and maybe even Eau Claire and Wausau. We'll get into it as we go into today. You're going to see maybe an inch well up to the north of that, and then eventually maybe a dusting, as you can see, by Ladysmith, possibly a 1/10 of an inch, maybe getting into areas by Wausau, maybe a 1/10 of an inch. Finishing that out, you'll see how it feels on your skin outside for Eau Claire. Right now, 14 degrees. It feels like it's 15 degrees on your skin over in La Crosse. However, you look at the temperature, Eau Claire is at 25 degrees right now for current temperature, and La Crosse is at 23 degrees. So you're looking at a pretty deep wind chill factor as we finish out the morning. And going into Millston here, you're also looking at the possibility of 21. Feels like it's 17 degrees out there. Roadways look pretty good. Also for areas right by Onalaska as well, the roadways look pretty good for them as well. We'll get into how this all plays out with the winds coming out of the west-southwest. Eventually, they'll change to the west-northwest, and eventually we're going to be holding on to these winds, continuing to move through the area as we go through the day. As I was showing you this is pretty much, I was talking about Wednesday mostly, but you're going to be seeing this continue all the way into the 7 p.m. hour today, and then continue all the way into the overnight for tomorrow. So tomorrow's going to be breezy as well. Sunshine on the way for us today under partly cloudy skies with mostly cloudy skies by 10 a.m. We'll have those breezy conditions finishing out with cloudier skies going into at least partly cloudy skies for Eau Claire as well. Have a great day. Be safe out there. Lady Gaga is teasing the name and release of her new album. We'll have more on her 7th studio album, Mayhems, after the break. Stick around.
We've done many renovations. We bought an old house and have made it into an up-to-date house. Whenever anything involves plumbing, the first call I make is to Maxwell White. Their technicians put together a great final product.
Owning a food truck was my dream, but my back and leg pain made every day a struggle. Then my personalized arch support system from the Good Feet store got me back in the picture.
Clinically proven to provide significant pain relief in only 4 weeks.
I'm back to being the best version of myself.
Get back in the picture. The Good Feet store. Book your free fitting at goodfeet.com.
Your job title shouldn't define you, but in the job I'm running for, it should. I'm Brad Schimmel, and justice is my life's work. Helping Wisconsin's most vulnerable, stopping elder abuse, taking on human traffickers, putting pedophiles behind bars, and leading the Sexual Assault Kit Initiative, clearing 4,000 backlogged tests so survivors could finally get justice. For me, it's not a title. It's my mission statement.
Join today's shoppers as they explore Sweet Valley Artisans.
There's so many good things here. How do you pick just one?
You don't.
I've been looking for something to hang in my garage.
What about this? Or this?
Vintage clothing and accessories? Let's check it out. Have you found anything yet? Yeah?
I'm getting hungry just looking at this. I know what you mean.
Stop in and find your treasure today.
As I deteriorated, I needed something that would allow me to go from floor in the garage to floor in the home. Jason helped introduce to me all sorts of accessibility equipment. I have no questions about credibility and research. Personally, if somebody was asking me, I would say, here's who I would call.
Hi, I'm Jason with Access Elevator. Stop in and see us today.
We're live in the heart of Wisconsin, where once again a new multiplier family of games from the Wisconsin Lottery has come to play. I've never seen anything like it. It's the X family of games, with prices from $1 to $20, and a chance to multiply prizes up to 100 times the prize shown, with top prizes up to $200,000. Now that is something. Available at Wisconsin Lottery retailers.
With a tankless system, you can have unlimited hot water whenever and for however long you need it. Upgrade to a tankless today and never be left without hot water again. Rely on Maxwell White, plumbing done right.
Well, good morning to you. Let's finish this all out here today, looking at 40s, possibly some 50s and some 30s in your forecast this afternoon. Breezy and gusty winds as well, with snow chances well up to the area. I'm really not going to put anything on the ground for us here locally today. However, Eau Claire may pick up maybe a dusting, possibly Ladysmith as well in Wausau. Record high temperatures coming in for Thursday, the possibility of that for Eau Claire, maybe even Rochester. Weekend rainfall in the form of snow, a mix getting into the forecast as well, and we'll see how that progresses because it's been changing from time to time. 23 degrees expected for the kids going to school today. Off to school with a mild morning, giving way to at least a bit of a wind chill still holding on out there. By the afternoon, you're looking at 46 degrees under partly cloudy skies, decreasing clouds for you. We'll also hold on to Eau Claire doing the same, 24 degrees with light snow, possibly. It's up in the air. I don't think so, but snow starts to come in right as we get into the 8 o'clock hour as well. So maybe a light flurry, possibly, but may not stick on the ground. By this afternoon, 42 degrees expected today under at least some partly to at least mostly cloudy skies to finish out the day. Tuesday, you can see here, we'll go into the wee hours of the morning, going into the 8 o'clock hour through sunrise, and eventually picking up some snow working into Ladysmith and Wausau. That starts to continue to get out of the way as skies begin to clear going into the afternoon, and we get back to partly cloudy skies. We'll take it to the 3 o'clock hour. You'll see mostly temperatures huddled into the 40s. We'll also pick up more snow coming back again for the 6 o'clock hour for your forecast. Then you're going to see that finish out by the time we get into the 9 o'clock hour and start to track a little bit more to the east and up and out of the region. Snow possibilities maybe well up to the north there, looking at maybe an inch. Ladysmith maybe about 1/10 of an inch or so. Eau Claire possibly a dusting of snow, and everybody else you can see maybe Marshfield and Wausau maybe a dusting of snow as well. We may even see some of that on the western side of the river as well. Getting into tomorrow though, you're looking at highs from 28 to at least 43 degrees out there. And of course, we're also going to see the possibility of a record high for 48 degrees. That's the record for Thursday. We may be forecast to get 51 degrees, and that's where we're going to be holding on to that potential record. Not so much for Eau Claire though, but once you go from Thursday, we're keeping an eye on this system here because as it gets closer, it may start bringing a little bit of snow, getting it down into areas by Eau Claire, by Prairie du Chien as well, down to the south. And eventually it looks like it may even bring in a little bit of snow into our region. So we'll keep an eye on that for you. By Saturday, more snow possibly comes in, brushes us, and moves in. About a 20% chance carrying all the way over into Sunday as well. Once we finish out going into the next few days, we're looking at conditions to have a mini roller coaster ride, 40s, 50s, 30s. Continue with the 30s back to the 40s for Groundhog Day on Sunday, but you see the rain-snow mix for Saturday and Sunday, potentially a chance for Monday and Tuesday as well. Be safe out there. Have a great day.
Global superstar Lady Gaga is teasing the name and release of her new project on billboards. Gaga's 7th studio album will be titled Mayhem. The 14-track project will feature some of her previously released songs. Lady Gaga is planning to debut the 3rd single and music video next month. Mayhem is set to be released March 7th. The band 9 Inch Nails is preparing for its first tour in 3 years. Its Peel It Back World Tour launches in Europe on June 15th. The North American leg kicks off in August in Oakland, California.
Our hotel is the best in the world. At the end of the week, you will be an entirely different person.
Season 3 of White Lotus lands in Thailand, where a new cast of American tourists check into the luxury hotel. White Lotus, the series, returns to HBO February 16th. Incubus is extending its Morning View and the Hits tour with special guest Manchester Orchestra into the summer and fall. The band kicks it off June 25th in Nashville. Pre-sale tickets go on sale today, so if you're a fan of Incubus, make sure to get those tickets. Now, Art, I don't know about you. None of those stories are anything I'm super interested in, sorry to say. I grew up listening to Lady Gaga. She's really cool, but I just don't really listen to any of her newer stuff. And I've heard White Lotus is great, but haven't watched it. So nothing there that's really piquing my interest. I don't know about you. Anything there catching your eye? No. Okay. Well, before we head to break, it's time to look at today's Look Who's 8.
All right, Joyce is turning 80. Yeah, she loves to spend time with her 17 grandchildren, 19 great-grandchildren, and 1 great-great-granddaughter. She also likes to work with sunflowers and spending time on her porch.
Well, if you know a special someone turning 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88 years old soon, we'd love to feature them.
Yeah, that's right. Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Picture button under the Home tab on our website.
Well, stay with us. We've got what you need to know in 5 minutes or less. Your Morning News Now is next.
On CBS Mornings, we're talking with not one but 2 big stars to kick off our road to the Grammy series. First up, Best New Artist. Who doesn't love this guy? That's Teddy Swims. Love his voice. Discusses his new music and dealing with his newfound fame. And we sat down with hip-hop trailblazer, that's Roxanne Shante. She is finally getting the recognition she deserves. She's the first solo female rapper to receive a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. She's awesome. And we're very excited to have newly crowned Australian Open champion. That's the lovely Madison Keys. Look at that studio. Coming to the studio, look at that trophy, rather. Coming to the studio today. I hope she brings the trophy, though. She's going to talk about how it feels to win her first ever Grand Slam title. My guess is it feels great. We'll see you at 7 o'clock straight out.
For residential, commercial, or high-speed doors, come to LaCrosse Glass and Overhead Doors. We carry a variety of CHI door styles designed to fit your vision. Get your free quote today.
Brad Schimmel. He wants to bring back the 1849 law that bans all abortions, with no exceptions for rape or incest. Schimmel gave plea deals to child molesters, let domestic abusers walk with no jail time. And he's the one who let 6,000 rape kits sit untested for 2 years, while survivors waited for justice. That's Brad Schimmel. Too extreme for the Wisconsin Supreme Court.
Craving authentic Mexican flavors? Look no further than Señor Villa. At Señor Villa, we bring the taste of Mexico to your table every day. Join us for our unbeatable $5 lunch specials packed with flavor and value. And don't miss our nightly specials where the fiesta never ends. Señor Villa, where great food meets great value. Visit us today. Señor Villa, the taste of Mexico you've been craving.
There's obviously a lot of different health issues related to untreated hearing loss. Hearing loss can affect tinnitus, depression, isolation, heart health, cognitive decline, hypertension, diabetes, osteoporosis, safety and balance. The point is, you're never too old to do something.
Better Hearing Center, 11th and Main, Onalaska, next to St. Pat's Church.
Let River City Grill in Winona, Minnesota be your new go-to dinner destination. We provide exceptional service no matter the occasion. From date nights to family outings with the kids, we have something for everybody at the table. Enjoy one of our 23 tap beers and pair it with a burger and fries during our happy hour from 2 to 6 p.m. Or, for a fine dining experience, try our salmon and steak entrees paired with our amazing signature cocktails. River City Grill, located in Winona, Minnesota. Call or book an online reservation today.
For residential, commercial, or high-speed doors, come to LaCrosse Glass and Overhead Doors. We carry a variety of CHI door styles designed to fit your vision. Get your free quote today.
What is a hero? Not the kind from comic books and movies saving the day. We're talking about everyday heroes, those with a special kind of courage or ability, those saving the day, one person at a time. News 8 Now wants to find those heroes and thank them for bettering our community. Go to news8000.com, click on Features, then Hometown Heroes to nominate someone you feel is truly a hometown hero. Miss a story or need to watch it again? Find them all on the News 8 Now app.
It's time for your morning news now. Authorities have identified those involved in a fatal shooting in Eau Claire Saturday. The victim is 21-year-old Andre Simmons Jr. of Chippewa Falls. Responders found him with multiple gunshot wounds just after 2 a.m. Saturday. 18-year-old Demarion Stogner of Eau Claire is in custody for the shooting. His charges include first-degree intentional homicide. The scene remains under investigation. One of the 2 men accused of a Toma stabbing is expected to appear in court today. 18-year-old Leo Pugrum is charged with first-degree intentional homicide and first-degree recklessly endangering safety. That's after he was allegedly identified to have taken part in a fight in a Toma Health parking lot last month. His appearance is set to begin at 10 this morning. President Donald Trump is keeping his focus on immigration, touting the week's deportations while speaking at a GOP House summit at his resort in Miami. There were scattered protests across the country yesterday demonstrating against the deportations. On his way back from the event, the president signed a handful of executive orders relating to the military, including creating an Iron Dome for the U.S. like Israel's. Joe Gao is filing a federal lawsuit to be reinstated as a professor at UWL. In 2023, the university discovered he and his wife, Carmen Wilson, appeared in online pornographic videos. UWL removed him as chancellor in December 2023. After a months-long battle, the UW Board of Regents removed his tenure and fired him as a professor. Gao says his firing violated his free speech rights and that the videos he created were not obscene or illegal.
Everybody knows that I was fired from my faculty position because the regents and other administrators didn't like the books and videos that my wife and I had posted on the internet. And you know, we have a First Amendment right to do that, so they can't fire me based on something that is free speech.
So far, there has been no response from UWL or the Universities of Wisconsin board. In your morning medical news, Minnesotans who depend on insulin can now buy the medication for $35 a month. The move comes after a final settlement with Novo Nordisk. Under the settlement, Minnesota residents can buy insulin products from Novo Nordisk with a price capped at $35 per month. It's a price point that would hold for the next 5 years and goes for people both with or without insurance.
Because of this lawsuit, that person would not be turned away. Instead of saying you owe us $2,600, pay up, or you got to go home and ration, now they can say we just need $35. And so that is saving lives.
Last year, Minnesota struck a similar settlement with Eli Lilly. The company was another defendant in that lawsuit.
All right, away we go with the mini roller coaster ride that starts today and continues all the way through the work week. We're looking at temperatures rising into the 40s, so we'll be above seasonal average temperatures in the 50s as we go through Thursday. And we could see record-breaking temperatures going into La Crosse and possibly Rochester as well. Then we calm temperatures down a little bit, maybe a little snow pops into the picture as well down to our south. That will be in the morning, and the possibility of more snow for the weekend as well, with a mix of rain and snow in the forecast. A 20 to 30% chance from Saturday into Sunday, and then a slight chance of snow from Monday and into Tuesday, with temperatures dropping back to the 20s.
Well, if you need one, here's a reminder to stop putting off those well-deserved breaks. Today is National Plan for Vacation Day. This day comes at the start of the year to remind you to plan your vacation days for the rest of the year. Millions of vacation days go unused each year. That's why travel experts say planning ahead is key to making the most of your time off. Plus, having a trip on the books boosts happiness, mental health, and can even improve workplace productivity. I definitely need to do that. I need to take some days off here. I'm still dealing with the holiday fatigue, honestly. So I need some time off. I think my ideal vacation right now would be just staying at home.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about all the travel expenses, so you get to save money and just chill.
I do miss Italy, though.
Oh.
I do miss Italy.
Never been. I've never been outside of the U.S., so.
Okay, well, you have plans.
I guess so. I guess I'm going to be making those plans today. Thanks for the recommendation, Art.
No worries.
Well, thank you for joining us this morning. We'll see you back here at noon.